Hi folks, on this old dart, blonde chick mechanic. I just wanted to say a quick, just a couple of quick things. First off, so the crown, the tiara, Jim and I celebrated our 8-year anniversary yesterday, and we had never been to Disneyland by ourselves. And so we stayed down there Monday night, and then we had fun at Disneyland, and so he bought this for me, which is very sweet. We had a wonderful time. It was just right for us, and we got to stay. We got to eat at the Royal Blue Bayou, which was cool, which is part of the Pirates in the Caribbean ride at Disneyland. So, but you know, something funny that happened at Disneyland was we walked to the tram, and the tram from the parking lot goes to basically the entrance of Disneyland, and we you know, Jim had the the wheeler thing that he's using because well, it was very handy, and he could sit down, especially on a long
walker.
The walker, yeah. And so we were with other people that were, you know, on the tram. We were with other people that had stuff like that. So, but we met a caretaker there, and you know, I'm so tired I can't even think of what his name was, but Jim started talking about Blonde Chick Mechanic on YouTube, and the guy says, "Oh yeah, is this?" And
you're the blonde chick.
He was surprised that I'm the blonde chick, and he goes, "Oh, nice to meet you," and everything. And there was other guys who just brought it right up on their phone, and so I just wanted to say thank you for all the support on YouTube channel. On Jim's YouTube channel, JamesRossVideo, and also it was kind of neat because he says, well, he has a Lincoln Continental,
1964, yeah,
1964. So he actually turns to the channel just to learn some things, because he's not, you know, he's kind of like me, not knowing stuff, and so he wanted to learn, and he says, "Oh, I go to that channel to learn something," and which I was like, okay, good, because we're just having fun here, generally, and to I don't know how it comes across, but hopefully somebody will like it, and I'm glad he did. So thank you again for the support for that. On the next thing on the agenda is to put the stainless steel brake lines in, and there's also, we're going to put the power booster here, and I'm going to clean this, I think, and then put the power booster in the master cylinder here, and then that way you know, it'll have something to connect to from the wheels to the brakes,
right?
And, so, and as I think I mentioned this before, this is the plunger that goes into the master cylinder. And
yeah, I gotta disconnect that thing. I got that plunger I don't need. I gotta take that off so the rod can fit to the new one.
Yeah.
Or you can take it off.
Yeah.
It's your show.
I will be doing that. So, and the brake lines are preformed. So that's kind of nice, because they just kind of connect right in. So, but in between the two back wheels, there's some brake lines, and they, you know, one goes here and one goes here, and
there's
I think, and then there's a longer one that we have already bought that connects up here, and then the power booster. So I can't remember which racing company we bought that from, but our
might have been Year One or Classic Industries,
no,
or something.
Booster,
that's the new place we discovered. Oh, wait a minute, something reserve parts specialist reserve.
I think NSR or NP,
or
something like
PSR
that.
or something. Yeah,
Something
anyway.
like that, man. So we're just giving a shout out because it just the parts looked beautiful and everything. So yeah, the brakes, and then we gotta, you know, we're still trying to. We're gonna buy some new headers and then also a new intake manifold, which I think this is what the intake manifold is. Carburetor sits right on top, and so that's we're gonna have a higher one. I guess that puts more it's more horsepower, but I can't remember why.
It rams the air more effectively.
Oh, and this is the power booster for the master cylinder that goes on the power.
Oh yeah,
boost.
right. There it is.
And anyway, I don't know if anybody who wants to learn about this. I wanted to say something because I've been trying to wrap my brain around this a little bit. See that hole back there? It's a it's a where the distributor goes.
Right.
And there's actually a gear that turns round and round, and it connects.
Oh yeah, down here. I see. Yeah, right.
And it connects to the gear that was part of the
Camshaft.
camshaft. And if you remember, we had kind of a problem, but the camshaft ends here. But we had to unbolt certain things, and then between the camshaft and the crank, there's a timing chain.
Right.
And
Whoops.
so
Talk to that lighting guy.
so but
I'm talking to myself again. Anyway.
so what happens is the starter turns the crank, and then I think it affects the distributor.
Yeah. It's very disturbing.
And the distributor, yeah, okay. And the distributor, if you remember, it has the spark plug wires coming out of it.
Yeah.
And so they're firing at different times. It's like little explosions, like 1, 5, 9, you know, or 1, 5,
Yeah.
3, 2, 6, or it's anyway. It has different orders of firing, and that's what moves the pistons up and down.
Yeah.
And they kind of.
Yeah. Well, look at
that's
the
why
pistons there.
So
The cylinders.
So that's why it's like a combustion, because you've got the spark plugs firing, you've got gasoline in there, and you have air. So between gasoline, air, and a spark, that's what moves.
You got kablooey.
And then you got a combustion, and then you got an axle to make it roll. I guess that's all I can say. But so what's neat about this?
Don't need no stinking transmission.
No, and the converter, the transmission, then the axle. Anyway, but what's neat is that the crank is in time with the camshaft. It has to be in time or things start misfiring.
Yeah.
And the valves don't open or close at the right time. And the valves,
Oops.
they have to, they kind of lock into
The head.
the head, which is, you know, I want to say an indentation. I don't know if that's correct or not, but there's a guy that goes like this, and it's like hand in glove. It locks it, and then there's times when it has to open and then close, and so it's all controlled explosion, and that's why it's combustion, and it still doesn't kill us. And then of course, you know, the headers take the air away, the bad air.
Okay, I'm trying to stay on focus here.
And just another thing.
Out with the bad, in with the good. You know, I've heard that one.
Breathing. Anyway.
Yeah, I breathe like a person.
Oh, and so Jim has, so we put the TR on so that Jim has named me his queen of the garage, as well as he's the king and I'm the queen, so that's cool. And another thing is that you're going to be hearing some new songs. Jim has got some new oldies, and he's called it the Blonde Chick Mechanic soundtrack.
No, actually, it's just called Garage Chick Mechanic. So brunettes and redheads are included.
Garage Chick Mechanic.
Everybody, and it's a new set list, and it's got. I hope you don't shoot me, but I found country that I liked, new country stuff. There's Judd's, and but anyway, there's stuff from the late '50s. Brenda Lee, who I heard when I was a boy, but I didn't realize till now just how fabulous of a singer she was.
She's got some guts.
Yeah, and then there's some Connie Stevens and some Connie Francis, other greats from the late 50s. So I put together for Dolly, like she said, a list for her garage work here, and I think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah. So anyway, so I hope all your engines keep running, and that you have fun while you're working on a classic car, and that's kind of a really neat fun thing to do if you like solving problems. If you're that kind of
if you like more problems.
It's kind of relaxing because you can solve these problems. It's like it's been done before. So so the next thing will be the brakes.
Right, and there's a twist that was added just lately. I found out that we could get a whole set of engine parts, and we might have to change our strategy because we found out, a guy had pulled a whole bunch of really good parts out of a same 360 Dodge that had 650 horsepower to make it even higher horsepower. Pistons, crankshaft, camshaft, intake manifold with fuel injection, electric program fuel injection. So we may kind of reconsider for the Dolly Dart. We're not sure because it's we didn't ask for that kind of horsepower, but if we could do it cheap, why not? But what? So we may get really down dirty in this motor. That would mean we'd have to pull the motor out, put it on her dad's engine stand, take out the crank and pistons, and put it all together like that on dad's old her dad's old engine stand. He made it himself.
Yeah, my dad was a welder. So anyway, okay, well, keep on and keep those motors running, and I hope you have a good night, folks. We'll keep you updated as far as films and things. All right. Good night.
Good night.